Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Manisha Gupta and I am Assistant Professor in Noida Institute of Engineering Technology in MBA department. In the last lecture in Business Research Method, we are studying about your comparative scaling techniques. We have completed our comparative scaling techniques and from this session we are going to start your non-comparative rating scales, and in this we are going to study about the Likert scale, Semantic scale and your rating scales. So, we start with the rating scales. So, what is basically the rating scale? It is basically the close-ended survey question that is used to evaluate how the survey response feels about the particular product or the statement. The close-ended survey question means you have given the customer the limited response, means whatever the type of the response we have seen. Suppose you are asking about the how much you like your product and you have given them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 response and they have to choose between all those 5 response. So, these are the example of your close ended survey question. But suppose if we ask the question like how do you like your product and you give them full freedom to write the answer about it, then that will be your close in open ended survey question. So, the rating scale is used when we are conducting the close ended survey question, and it is basically used to evaluate how the survey response feels about the particular product or statement. Then the respondent are typically asked to choose from the range of the options which are scaled between, they have given the region of option between the two extreme like excellent to the terrible. How do you rate our product and services? You have given the option from excellent means it is a very good, and you have given the options like a terrible. So, you have given the range of the responses from terrible to the excellent. The rating scale is basically is a variant of the well known multiple choice question. And what else we do in a rating scale? The rating scale are the popular for their ability to allow the quantitative measures to be applied to more abstract, means in this what we have given, it gives the respondent or the researcher ability to allow your quantitative measures to be applied in the more abstract and the subjective sentiments like your satisfaction, experience, perception, feeling are all the difficult to quantify. It is not easy to quantify these things. So, we use the qualitative data, but when done well as a rating scale and it is useful for the measuring the performance and effectiveness has been application in their personality research. So, we are using the rating scale in the type of personality research also, like if you are measuring the performance or effectiveness of the any product and the services or the peoples or your staff, then also you are using the rating scale. So, you have to remember the two things. What is in the rating scale, you will get the series of option or the range of the option from two extreme end, like from the excellent to the terrible. So, this is all in a rating scale. We are going to study the different type of the scales which is also the kind of your rating scales. Now, the Likert scale. The Likert scale is also the kind of your rating scale, and the Likert is basically, and it is extremely popular for measuring the attitude because the method is a simple to administer. Most of the research in the present time they are using the Likert scale. It is very popular, and why it is very popular, why the researcher is using it most, because it is very simple to administer, means you can easily make the Likert scale and you can prepare the questionnaire by using the Likert scale. It is very easy, that is why the researcher is preferring most of the time the Likert scale. And the Likert scale, the responses indicate their own attitude. What do we do in a Likert scale? When we conduct a survey and we use the Likert scale, then the response whatever the response we get on the Likert scale, they indicate their own attitude by checking how strongly they are agree to how strongly they are disagree, with the careful worded statement that range from the very positive to the very negative toward your attitudinal objects. And Likert scale may include number of the item in their statement, means they include the number of the items, means number of the response in their statement. Suppose you have asked one question, and for answering those questions they have the number of the responses, and in the Likert scale is basically named for the American social scientist Janus Likert, who devised this approach in 1932. He has devised this approach in 1932. So, that is why this scale is known as Likert scale. And the Likert scale measures the agreement and disagreement also. What we are going to measure? You can measure agreement and disagreement of the particular statement, or the scale range from the strongly agree to the disagree with the neutral in a center. So, it is important in the Likert scale that you have two extreme point and in mid you have one neutral point, like strongly agree, strongly disagree, and here you have a neutral option. So, in the Likert scale you range from the very high and the very positive point to the very negative point, and in a center you may have some neutral point also, and you can easily quantify the result, means you can easily analyze this result, and it is useful for the highest agreement to be the rated. And how will you rate it, and what value will you give to these responses? Means because it is basically the qualitative data and you have to convert into quantitative data. So, you can give the strongly agreed to the 5, strongly disagree to the 1, and what you can give to the neutral, you may give 3 number to the neutral option. So, this is how the Likert scale is. And what is basically the size of the Likert scale? The Likert scale size is vary from type to type. Most important, the traditionally employed Likert scale is your 5-point Likert scale, like this is the 5-point Likert scale: strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. But we can also use the 7-point scale is also, and which could often give you more choices to respond, but it has been suggested that the people tend not to select the extreme category in the large rating scale, perhaps not wanting to appear the extreme in their view. So, most of the time the people did not use the 7-point rating scale. There is the other size of the rating scale is also like moreover it may not be easy for the subjects to discriminate between the categories, that is not only subtly different. And on other hand, the rating scale which just have the 3 category, it may also have the 3-point rating scale, like you have given the option poor, satisfactory and good. And because most of the time why the people do not use this 3-point rating scale, because they may not able to afford the sufficient discrimination between the responses. That is why the people did not choose the 3-point rating scale. And there is also the even number category also, like there is a 4-point and the 6-point rating scale is also there, and the forced response come down broadly for and against in this statement. And by using the rating scale you will get easily that for and against, means how much you like it, how much you dislike it. And what is the advantage of your rating scale? The Likert scale is considered to be the most reliable because under it respond answer such a statement included in a instrument, because you can include the responses in your instrument. And what are the other reason or other advantage of the Likert scale? The Likert scale can be easily used in respondent center and the stimulus center studies. Means if you are conducting the study which is a very respondent center, if a stimulus center, you can easily use the Likert scale. And what are the other advantage? The Likert scale take place less time to construct and is the frequency used by the student in a opinion, and it also take less time to prepare or the construct your questionnaire by using the Likert scale. These were the example of your Likert scale. And what is the basic the limitation of the Likert scale is that it can simply examine whether the respondent are more or less favorable to the topic, but we cannot tell how much and how more they are like or dislike. It can easily tell you the how much it is favorable and how much it is unfavorable, but the amount means how much you like it, how much you don't like it, it may not be easily come out from your Likert scale, but you can easily define that the respondent is like your product or didn't like your product, but it does not give you the amount that how much they like it or how much they dislike it. Then the other reason is that the total score of the individual response has the little meaning, since the given total score can be secured by the variety of the answer pattern. There is maybe the number of the answer name, number of the answer patterns. Some people's response may be most of the time agree, agree, agree. Some people may be neutral, neutral, neutral. So these were your limitation of a Likert scale. The some example of the Likert scale. When we talk about the agreement, means if you want to know that the respondent is agreed with your statement or not, then you use these 4 Likert 5-point Likert scale, from strongly agree, agree, undecided or the neutral, then disagree and the strongly disagree. But when we talk about the frequency, suppose you are asking the question that how frequent you purchase the product online. So here we are talking about the frequency. So in this type of the question, what are the responses you can give? Always, often, sometime, rarely and never. Means never means you will never purchase a product online. Always means most of the time you are purchasing the product from online services. Then if you talk about the importance, you ask the question is that how important you to know about the product or service, means after sale services. So people may say it is very important to understand the after sale service. It may be important, moderately important, slightly important or unimportant. Some other type of the Likert scale is also, if you talk about the quality and you want to ask a question on the quality, you may get the responses like the quality is good, excellent, fair, poor or very poor. You are asking about, you are in a telecom industry and you ask the customer that how is our quality of the service. The customer can rate it on these 5 points. And likelihood, if we talk about the likelihood, means if any event is, how likely any event is happening, you will go to the market daily. So you can, when you talk about the likelihood, the respondent may be like almost always true, usually true, occasionally true, usually not true and almost never true. Or there is a other method is also in this, definitely, probably, possibly, probably not and definitely not. So these were the example of your Likert scale. The one more example is there, that if you are asking your customer that how satisfied are you with. So you are satisfied with the purchase and you have given them 5 responses, from the very unsatisfied to the very satisfied. And here the services you have given, you ask about the services, purchase and the company. So you If you are very satisfied, you can click on this. If you are just satisfied, you can click on this. And if you are complete or overall satisfied with the company, then you can click on this. And suppose if you are not satisfied or very much unsatisfied, then you can click on this option. So, this was basically your Likert scale. Now, after the Likert scale, we are going to discuss about the semantic differential scale. So, what is a basically semantic differential scale? It is basically the 7-point rating scale with the end associated with the bipolar label, means they have the bipolar label, such as good and bad, complex and simple, and that have the semantic meaning. They must have the some semantic meaning of it, and it can be used to find whether the respondents have the positive or negative attitude towards an object or event of a company. And it has been widely used in the comparing your, where we have used it most, when we have to compare a brand, product or the company's image. And this method has been used to develop advertising, promotion strategy and in a new product development study. So, most of the time where you are going to develop this for advertising, promotion strategies and new product development study. So, in these type of the study we mostly use your semantic differential scale. In this method, you must understand that in this method the two things are important. First is, it consists of the set of the bipolar rating scale, means one is very good, other is very bad, and usually have the 7 point by which one is more participant rate and one is more concept to each scale item. You can say by this that one or more participant rate, one or more concept of the each scale of the item. Then in your semantic differential scale is basically based on the proposition that and the object can have the several dimension, means the object may have the several dimension of the connotative meaning, and the meaning are located in your multi-dimensional property space called the semantic space. Multi-dimensional space means the properties of the product may have the multiple variable or the multiple factors affecting it. So, it may have the many dimensions. If you talk about the customer buying behavior, they buy the product based on the many reasons. So, they may have the many dimensions like their preferences, their income, their family size. So, it may have the many dimensions, and this may properly called as your semantic space. The semantic differential scale. So, what is basically the advantage of the semantic differential scale? The semantic differential scale has outdone the other scale like your Likert scale in your vitality, rationality and authenticity. So, your semantic differential scale is better than your Likert scale in their vitality, their rationality and their authenticity, and it has an advantage in terms of language too. They are the two poles adjective for the factor can be measured and the scale connecting both the poles. There is a scale which connect, because from the starting we are saying that in the semantic differential scale they may have a two poles, and these two poles are connected with the scale, and most of the time this scale is of the 7-pointer scale, and it has a more advantage, or researcher may conduct it more because the statement and expected response to the either agree or disagreed with this. Then respondent can express their opinion about the matter in hand of the more accurately entirely due to the polar option provided in the semantic differential scale. means because there is a polar option, then the customer or the respondent may respond it more honestly or in a better way. So, here there is some example of a semantic differential scale. So, what is basically the example of the semantic differential scale? You may get the two poles, means if you talk about the thinking of the people, that how the people are thinking, you have given them option that from the modern to the old fashion. So, if you select your response nearby your modern, suppose you have selected this, means your thinking is modern, and if you selected by this, it may be you are thinking old fashioned way. So, here the number of the example is there, like your good and bad. How is your product service or the customer service? It may be good if you are feeling good, and how much good you are feeling. If you like it extremely, you can put it here, but you like somewhat, you can put here, and you will like more than the somewhat, but you cannot extremely like it, then you may select this option. If you talk about the cleanliness of the any hotel, and you are asked to rate them on the basis of the clean and dirty. So, if the restaurant is very clean, then your response will be inclined toward this side, and if your restaurant is not very clean, then your response will be inclined to this point. If you talk about the importance, then if you like it or it is very important, then your response will be inclining toward this point. And whatever the question you have asked, if the response is not important, then your response will be in any of these 3 points. So, these are the some example of your semantic differential scales. These are some other examples, like if you like to root the people, that they are rowdy or they are courteous, or if you talk about any product, it is inaccessible or totally accessible. And if you talk about the people's characteristics, they are very caring or they are unsympathetic. So, you ask them to rate, you have given them the point. So, this is also the example of your semantic differential scale. Here the number is given, and if your response toward this side, then you can choose the option from any one of 3, and if you did not choose and you cannot decide, then you may go for this option. So, this was your semantic differential scale, and we talk about what is the difference between a semantic differential scale and the Likert scale. With the Likert scale, the people state that how much they agree or disagree with the particular statement, but in the semantic scale, the people fill the questionnaire and decide how much of the trait or the quality the item has. If you talk about the Likert scale, the Likert scale may have option like you like it, it is important, it is not important. Like we have taken example talking about the satisfaction or the agreeableness, means how agreed you are. Then you may have the option of, in the Likert scale, you are agreed, disagreed, strongly disagreed, or the neutral. So, in this you will get only that the respondent is how much agree or disagree with the particular statement. But what we get in the semantic scale? We get in the semantic differential scale that people filling the question decide how much of the trait or the quality the item may have. Take an example, if you ask the customer that how much frequently you like to visit our store. So, there may be the option mostly, and you have given the respondent the option from 1 to, other option is never, 7, there is a 2, 3, 4 and 5. So, if the customer is choosing option 2, then you will get the quantity or means the how much customer more prefer to visit your store. If he is choosing 1 means they most likely to visit your store. But if he choose option number suppose 6 which is nearby, never, you may never like to visit a store. For the never you have given the response 7. So, you can decide not never, but maybe sometime. So, you may go for the option 6. So, if you choose the 6, then you are showing that the how much you are liking means how much quantity. Here you get the quantity, that how much the customer is like and how much customer did not like it. So, in this you will get about, in the semantic scale we get the information about how much quantity do we like or dislike, and in the Likert scale you will only get how much you are agreed or disagreed. Thank you everyone. This is all for this session.